Welcome, respected sadhakas, in whom all these seven wonderful identities are there of Sevaka, Dharma Samstapaka, Shrota, Shishya and Bhakta, Jignasu and Mumukshu. Pursuing the Shastra, Dhyana and all, the Mumukshu in us is made as Mukta Purusha, the Jignasu is made as Jnani, the Bhakta is given the Bhagavad Anubhuti Darshanam Aikyam. The Shishya is fulfilled by becoming the instrument in Rishi Parampara. The Shrota completes because he is listening the best. Dharma Samstavaka continues. Loka Sevaka continues. Sadhaka becomes Siddha Purusha. Let us salute the Parabrahma Tattva. Let us salute the Ishvara. Let us salute all the Adhisthana, Devatas. Let us salute the Guru Tattva, the Guru Parampara, the Swaguru and the Acharya Gana. Guru is the one who gives Diksha. Acharya is the one who teaches us Shastras, shows us about what Acharana to do. Salutations to the Apaurisheya Shruti Mata. Salutations to the SMRITHI Granthas, the experiences of saints. Salutations to Purana, Aneka Kala, Aneka Loka, Kathas happenings to inspire us to be spiritual. Itihasas, the great Leelas of Lord as Avatara. And Mahatma Rachana again. Their Anubhuti out of compassion they give it to us in the form of poetry or the prose, the Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga, the Dharma Marga, the Marga of values, the Marga of the noble living, they tell us. To them our salutations. Wonderful Shastra, Yoga Vaashishtha, Maha, Ramayanam we have taken up for study. Before the Rama Vasishtha Samvada starts of having all the Advaita Vedanta Jnana, Jnana Prapti, Prakriyas, Upayas, Sadhana, Shrunkhalas, how many it will be told. As an Upadghatam, before that, we are taken to the Katha happening at Sri Ayodhya Nagari. This is the Samvada between Sutikshna and Agasti. This is the Samvada between Karunya Agniveshya. This is the Samvada between Suruchi Apsara and Devaduta. This is the Samvada between Valmiki and Raja Arishtanemi. Also, Samvada between Sri Valmiki ji and Sage Bharadwaja ji. The story is Sri Vishwamitra ji arrives to Ayodhya. So greatly, respectfully, reverentially is received by Raja Dasharatha. Argya, Padya, Puja, everything done. and in an unparalleled way, he does the stuti of Brahmarshi turned Rajarshi Vishwamitra ji. Feels himself so blessed, so happy, everything, that he announces, declares or promises. Pratigna karna. Ki anything, any work for which you have come, that will be fulfilled. Now, so happy is Vishwamitra ji. Harsha Romanchita. He puts in front his immediate problem of total disturbance, destruction happening to the dharma yajnas he is doing. Bhai, the dushta bhayankara rakshasas anuyayis of Kharadoshanadi. Then he directly, without any hesitation, asks, send Rama to destroy them. He is capable. He is the only one who is capable. For his protection, all Dhanurbana, everything I will give. Send him. Hmm. Life is impermanent, even if it is of rishis, munis, avatars. In the body, the self is eternal, but expression through conditioning. Therefore, when it can be used for the best of the purposes, isn't it? Consciously, then there is a fulfillment. Dushta Shikshana, Shishta Rakshana, Dharma Samrakshana, Adhyatmika Prachara. Other than these four, what is there in fulfillment of life? Before that Adhyatmika Prachara, one's own Adhyatmika Unnati Pragati, Moksha state. So send your son. Two important things he says. One is what? Don't become dharma bhrashta by not fulfilling the promise given by you, not good for you. This point Vaashishtha will tell more clearly in the ninth Sarga, that following you, everybody will give up the dharma or the pratigna purti, etc. Second thing said is, we people, saints and sages, don't do anything in sandigdhata. We have the crystal clear understanding, conviction with the sukshma drashti, divya drashti, dirgha drashti, sarva loka kalyana drashti. Therefore, my doing yajna is not wrong, it is well thought of. My coming to you is not wrong, it was well thought of, unambiguous. My asking for Rama also is not wrong. Perfect. So send, order or tell all Mantrigana Vasishtaji to send Rama. That's it. This way, having said, Vishwamitraji becomes, withdraws his talking. Now in the Ashtama Sarga, by so many explanations given, Dasharatha finally says that I will not give Ram. Even then, if you Jabardasti take him, I am dead only. That much he says. Then Vishwamitraji becomes very angry. He gets up and even starts to go, saying that you have done dharma atikramana. You did not curse or anything. The promise you made, you are not fulfilling. When he becomes angry like that, whole bhumi becomes kampita. Everybody gets terrified in that whole sabha mandapa. At that time, Vasishthaji takes initiative. Then in the whole ninth sarga, he explains, convinces Raja Dasharatha. Having agreed, Dasharatha immediately orders to call Rama. Then the servants to go to bring Rama. They come back without Rama. Then Dasharatha asks, what is the matter? Why didn't he come? And in the entire 10th, 11th sarga, the position of Rama, of this highest Vairagya, is so detailedly explained, deeply explained. So from this we understand, more clarity will come as we go further, that Bhagavan Rama, returning from Tirtha Yatra, was Vishwamitraji taking Rama Lakshmana for Yajna Raksha. In between these two has happened this whole episode of Rama Vairagya Vaashishtha Upadesha, which is called as this Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayanam. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Yerime Gurumehi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah Vyakhyatah Sarva Vedantaha Yogaha Bhakti Jnanaha Tan Nityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Apadama Bhartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varanane. Om Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को नयाति परां गतिम्. ॐ यद्वाक्यामृतपायिनां प्रतिपदं सत्यं सुधानीरसा यद्वाक्यार्थविचारणात् अभिमतः स्वर्गो विकारागृहं यद्वाणी विशदात्मपूर्णमनसां तुच्छं जगत्तूलवत् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे. यस्यार्षं प्रथिता जगत्त्रयहिता सा वेदमाता परा यश्चक्रे तपसा वशे सुरगणान् अन्यत् सिसृक्षुर्जगत् तं बोधाम्भुनिधिं तपस्विमुकुटालङ्कार चिन्तामणिं विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघम् भूयो नमस्याम्यहं. श्रुत्या ब्रह्मैव रामः प्रकटितमहिमा येन तस्मै वसिष्ठः यस्सीतां ब्रह्मविद्यामिव सदसि पुनः सत्यशुद्धां किलादात् यद्वाणी मोहमूलं शमयति जगत् आनन्दसन्दोहदोग्ध्री तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यात् उद्दिधीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मभक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। ओं श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओं श्री वशिष्ठ महर्षये नमः। ओं श्री विश्वामित्र महर्षये नमः। ओं श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षये नमः। ओं श्री वामदेव महर्षये नमः। ओं श्री व्यास महर्षये नमः। ओं श्री भरद्वाज महर्षये नमः। ओं अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोध श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद्भागवत ऋषिमुनिगुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्ति सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वध्यात्मिक प्रगति विश्वशान्ति एकता पुनोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये कङ्कणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां गुरूणाम् आचार्याणाम् आश्रमाणां संस्थानां श्रेयविलासिनां भक्तशिष्यसेवकसाधकानां पूर्णायुरारोग्यैश्वर्यक्षेमस्थैर्यधैर्यवीर्यविजयादि समस्त शक्तिसम्पदा सानुकूल्यता साधनानां प्राप्ति बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्ननिर्मूलनद्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये नित्यनिरन्तर दिग्विजयार्थम् श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव मंदिर कृष्ण मंदिरादि समस्त सनातन मंदिराणां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु सर्वेषु नित्य निरंतर पूजा उपासना सत्संगादि द्वारा समस्त विश्व स्थित जीवानां हृदये आध्यात्मिक बीज वृक्ष फल प्राप्त्यर्थमनेकानेक शास्त्राणां पारायण अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि प्रणीत स्मृति ग्रंथ रूप श्री वशिष्ठ राम संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं तेषां कृपया मोक्षानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। रक्ष रक्ष पाहि पाहि। ओम अथ श्रीमद्वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणं प्रथम प्रकरणं वैराग्य प्रकरणं शांति मंत्राः प्रार्थना मंत्राः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे अवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ रस तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ओम अथ अष्टमः सर्गः। So finally he says, oh, इति एवं मुक्त्वा धर्मात्मा धर्मार्थसहितं वचः वीरराम महातेजा विश्वामित्रो मुनीश्वरः. This is how the seventh sarga. Shrutva vacho munivarasya, having heard the words of Munivara, that Mahanubhavaha Dasharatji Tushnim Atishtat, he kept quiet for some time. Upapanna Padam Sa Vaktu, just preparing himself to speak the right words at that time. No yukti yukta kathanena vina iti tosham dhiman apurit manah abhimatascha lokaha. So, without speaking correct words, they'll be regret later on. So take time if required, but understand well, plan well. use correct vocabulary sentences, speak well in such a manner that the work is accomplished. Hmm. Just I was observing all our EA goes outside, how the talks are done, I don't know. Few years we are seeing. Never there is any failure in any the bilateral dealings with any country. Perhaps they may be thinking well and planning well, discussing advance, सब ठीक है, but कहीं भी fail नहीं होता. So with full perfect attitudes, presentations, the things are done. That any lane then, mm, any of the either exports, imports, business, dealings, sales, purchases, all of that, जहाँ भी जाए सत्य सक्सेस होते हैं आजकल आप देखो. So that means युक्ति युक्त वाणी going on. See, properly striking the balance, isn't it? It has so many things in it. If we start talking on it, it will be a 1 hour complete lecture. That where we have the dignity, that where we are not slaves, that where we are not dependent. At the same time, we know our limitations. We are not egoistic. We are humble. We know the value of the other nation. Therefore, we value it duly. Like that, some 10s, 20, 30 highly matured things when they are there and they are expressed through that MEA, the dealings happen successful. Here also, Dasharath is taking a pause before expressing what he has in his mind. है ना, ये तो इज्जत की भी बात है, सबके सामने गलत बोल दिया तो. Then promise he has done. Now out of, you can't call it as overconfidence, but out of his own devotion to Vishwamitra. Now the thing is what what he has never expected, that alone has been asked. So one thing we learn before we enter into Dasharathaji's words in 8th chapter, which we chanted yesterday, ki we may be having total freedom in our life from every and any of the attachments, almost. But one place we are caught up. Anything it can be. Most important, highly significant, or least important, totally insignificant. But remember, that alone becomes cause of dukkha or bondage. Until that also is removed, we are tested. If we really want to spiritually grow. So Dasharath ji, what attachment he has, what weakness he has got, even if he has got, what is there which he cannot obtain in the world? सब है. बट उनके दो ही प्रॉब्लम थे. एक, पुत्र संतति नहीं हुई. थ्रू आउट लाइफ वॉज दुखी दुखी दुखी. Somehow Vashishtha suggested Putra Kameshti done. Now he has got the Santanam. Now to the same Santati he has attachment. You understood? That becomes a cause of dukkha. So the subtlemost point which is so tough to catch and accept is, even if it is your son is nothing but God, Paramatma only has come as Lord. Yet, if you are not seeing him as God but attached to him as son, that God Rama alone become cause of your dukkha. Therefore, is Rama cause of dukkha for Dasharath ji? No. Then who is cause of dukkha? It is your attachment. Therefore, attachment is the cause of dukkha, even if it is to the God, but not as God, but as a putra. अब देखो, can we learn this thought? Attachment is the cause of misery. Attachment becomes cause of even doing dharma bhrashtata. He did pratigna, but he doesn't want to fulfill. But lucky for him, there are two things in Dasharatha's life. One, he has permanently appointed Vaashishtha ji as Kulaguru, who is coming from beginning onwards. Second is, he is ready to listen to him and change his own decisions are opinions. This is the difference between Vasishthaji, Dasharatha, and what do you call the Dashamukha there or Dhritarashtra here. Why Ravana died? Didn't he have anybody to advise him? Many were there. Vibhishan से लेकर माल्यवान से लेकर. He did not listen. क्या धृतराष्ट्र का कोई थे नहीं सुनाने बताने? विदुर से लेकर भीष्म द्रोण everybody were. But he didn't give up. Both are attached. That attachment only brought destruction. Ravana attached to his power, Ahankara and Sitaji and all. Dhritarashtra to his own son. Dasharatha also attached. Later on he will die for that only. But at this moment he heard his Guru. So let us enter. We have chanted this chapter yesterday. 10-9 shlokas also we saw. Straight away. Om Atha Ashtama Sargaha Shri Valmiki Ruvacha. Valmiki ji is telling, sage Bharadwaji and Arishtanemi Raja. Ki Tad Shrutva, having heard that Raja Shardulaha, the tiger of kings, Vishwamitrasya Bhashitam, the Bhashan of the Vishwamitra ji, having heard that Raja Dasharatha, Muhurtam Asit Nischeshta. So for a Muhurta Kala, he was Cheshta Rahita, unmoved, untalking, just stand still, stunned, statue. Then once he came out of that, Sadainyam Idam Abravit. Now with all Dinata, he started saying these things. Dasharatha. He first, Una Shodasha Varshaha Ayam Ramaha Rajiv Lochana. This is my most beloved, beautiful lotus-eyed Rama is less than 16 years. That is 15. Una means Ekam. He is only 15 years old. Then, na yuddha yogyatam asya pashyam. I don't see in him the yogyata, the ability, capacity. In him to do the yuddha. Forget about even general yuddha he cannot have. He don't have yogyata to fight now. That too, saharakshasaihi. To fight with the rakshasas, though, absolutely impossible. 15 years, what can he fight with? You need your your yajna to be protected. Rama 15 saal. He cannot do, even by sending him, it is waste. But I gave you promise. So you want the yaga raksha. Dekho, this one Akshavani Sainya I am sending with you. I myself, as the leader of them, will come with Dhanurbhana in my hands. So Yam Akshavini Purna, this one Purna Akshavini Sainyam, Yasyaha Pati Aham, I am the Lord of all that Sainyam, Taya Parivrutaha, surrounded by this entire Akshavini Sainyam, Yuddham Dasyami Pishitashinam, that flesh-eating, blood-drinking Rakshasas, I will give Yuddha to them, I will fight with them. Imehi, these all my one Akshavini Sainyam are Shuraha, very powerful, Vikrantaha, any aggressive steps they are ready to take. Bhrutyaha, they obediently follow my orders. Mantra Visharadaha, they are very sharp, subtle, wise to think and take perfect decisions individually or collectively. Then, Ahamcha Esham Dhanushpanihi Gopta Samaramurdhani. I will also be there in that Yuddha with Dhanurbana in the hand, protecting them and fighting with those Rakshasas. So, Evihi Saha Eva, along with these, my Akshavini Sainya, Viranam, Mahendra Mahatam, Happy, big, powerful kings, including as powerful as Indra also, Dadami Yuddham. I will give you means I will fight with them like Mattanam Karinam Iva Kesari. Like intoxicant elephants are attacked by the Kesari, the lion ferocious. Even people are as powerful as Indra. I have no fear. With this Sainyam, I will attack. Nothing to worry. Therefore, I am going to go with you along with this Sainyam. Spare Rama. That is his point. देखो ये subtlety क्या है ना, only when we have Guru Kripa we'll understand. Hmm. The attachment in Dasharatha made him frightened about future of Rama, security of Rama, and his own. But the required request made by Vishwamitra is not only for the present accomplishment of his immediate task, but he has got in his vision the entire future of Ram. इससे फर्क होता है जो अटैच्ड माता पिता बच्चों को देखते हैं, जो नॉन अटैच्ड गुरु युवाओं को या बच्चों को या दुनिया को देखते हैं. They see the future and accordingly they guide. These parents see the future but out of attachment and they are afraid. I believe I request you all to make your youngsters listen to Gita talks, which we are doing every day at 12:45 in the afternoon. English. 500 days, 484 days, 489 days we are doing every day. 13 chapters covered, 14 we are doing for the youth. With lot of introduction, Valmiki Ramayanam, Vishnu Sahasranam teaching, Vedic chanting. 7 things I am doing in 1 hour 10 minutes for them, for the youth. Because Gurudev loves youth. We also have that love for them. They are the future of India and world. They must know with all other technologies, other things, the scripture, spirituality, life management, goal management, etc. So we are talking. Just make them listen. Already talks are there. There are 199 talks given to them. Half an hour base wale. Only aiming at them. 199 talks. Then more than 400 slokas I taught to them. And last 6 months, every day they are taught with stotrams also. Keeping their total future in mind. So Vishwamitra ji's drushti is that Vashishtha ji is conditioned. So he is not fully refusing. He says, I will come and help. Confidently. What another subtle thing you have to understand is very, very funny how each one's opinions differ. Sometimes, if one is rigid, how they contradict. This is how the samsara is created. Drishti of Dasharatha is what? Vishwamitra yajna raksha karni hai. I am going with 1 lakh of one akshani of sainyam. And the reason behind Rama not being sent is 15 saal, very young fellow. He can't even fight here also. गलियों में भी लड़ा नहीं अभी तक. How can he go for yuddha? That also with Rakshasas. Think about his correctness. But you have to know who is in front of you, who has proposed it. He has his own standpoint. He has his own vision. That's why he said, we Mahatmas don't think anything in a Sandigdhavastha, doubtfully or half-minded, are not our words, our suggestions, our convictions, our doings, etc. बता चुके हैं विश्वामित्र जी already. Well thought of only. But then when we just give more value, we can give more value to our own words, decisions, when the people in front of us are lesser than us in wisdom, in intentions, etc. etc. Up to Sakshat Vishwamitra, you only have praised him so much. So praising Vishwamitra intellectually, vocally is different from accepting Vishwamitra's supremacy, proving that acceptance by accepting what he is asking or doing what he is saying. Now you understand how the split personalities will be there in our heart. Like मैं मानता हूँ गीता बढ़िया, बट पढ़ो ना, पढ़ता हूँ मैं, समझो ना, समझता हूँ मैं, करो ना. अब कोरोना नहीं हो रहा, कोरोना इज नॉट गुड डिसीज, सो आई एम नॉट डूइंग. दैट इज कोरोना भैया, ये तो कोरोना है. These are the inner things. When we conquer, make the personality stronger, integrated, we will be able to do the higher things and achieve. In this way, if we study this Yoga Vaashishtha Ramayana, 20 साल लगेगा गारंटी, 32,000 श्लोक पढ़ाने के लिए. एक दिन 4 श्लोक होंगे, तो 32,000 को आप 4 या 3 श्लोक पढ़ेंगे तो 8,000 दिन होंगे. 8,000 को 365 से डिवाइड करो, 20 साल. Anyway, he now says, Balo Rama tu. Rama is very child, young boy. Anikeshu na janati balabalam. He doesn't know the power of the Sainya. He doesn't know his bala and he has no bala. He doesn't know the bala of our Sainya. How can he know the bala of the Rakshasas? You can fight with someone taking initiative only when you estimate the bala. Nowadays, if you see all the ruling party leaders, the I don't say it as arrogance, but the confidence with which they are talking. How come that confidence has come? Because they know the bala. And where from the bala came? Honestly, they are serving the nation. You see in today's Rajya Sabha's lecture or talk by Prime Minister, it was I was laughing only when I was seeing that. Ajadi kahan se maybe when he spoke all that. Interesting it was. When you are doing honest work, you get bala. With the bala, you talk confidently. So he doesn't know his bala, Rakshasa bala, just like that लड़ने जाए. So then Antapura Arute, other than the Antapura palace, Društva na anena anya Ranavanihi. He has never seen any Yuddhamu at all other than Antapura. And he never knows the fighting. He is so loving that with 3 brothers he can never fight. He must be having hundreds of brothers, the other Ranis or wives of Dasharatha and all. But वो इतने प्यारे हैं तो मजा के वास्ते भी लड़ाई नहीं है उनकी जिंदगी में. And he never knows any other युद्ध भूमि etc. Includes that ferocious thing and all. He has never gone. And like those who see, they know. Like the ones who have never gone to, let us say, the hospitals. They don't know the condition there. They're all believing of it. And hospitals, there are also the accidental wards, the ICUs, the emergency ward, the ICCU. कितना terrible होते हैं वो बाप रे. You will be frightened, but you don't know. नहीं गए कभी. And in that also, some places, the most terrible are the burning wards. Oh, बाप रे, इतना भयानक होता है वो. 60% burnt, 70% burnt, 80% burnt. Even worse than all of that is mortuary. I've seen all of that. 5 times I went to mortuary. Not me, for me to look and take, bring body and all. Burning ward 4 times. That only when you know, go you see the thing. So too when you go to the old age homes, their plight, then only you will know. Only when you go to the Anatha Ashram, Anasanalayam, there only you will know what is going on there. So too when you go to the factories, the plight of the workers, the risks they take every moment, then only you will know. Only when you go to the borders and all, you know the life at risk, every moment of that great journeys. When you go to the ocean, then only you know the difficulty of this fisherman. Wow, kitna terrible ocean hota hai, jalo pakdo lao. Are baba. So to Rama has never gone to any Ranamurdhani. Rada Avani doesn't know. Only he knows Dasharatha Angan mein घूमते रहते हो. So Antapuradarute Društva na anena anya Ranavanihi. By him the Yuddha Kshetra has not been seen at all so far. Okay, then na shastraihi paramaihi yukta. Never ever he is trained in Astra Shastra. We have not taken him to big Astra Shastra adi places. Nacha Yuddha Visharadaha, not a very expert in the Yuddha Vidya Kushalata. तो मतलब अर्लियर तो बताया राम जी की दिनचर्या में आफ्टर दैट फ्यू आवर्स ऑफ इन द सभा is to go with all the mantris, sainikas to the jungle for hunting. So you have to understand it. You are just watching them doing. Oh, फिर when they hunt, उन्होंने कहा होगा राम जी अब जाके आप धनुष बाणले खड़े हो जाओ, आपका फोटो खींचेंगे, सेल्फी ले लेना with the dead wild boar killed by us. So you have to relate like that. Karunamurti Rama, why will you do all that? Anyway, तो न शस्त्रै परमै युक्तः न च युद्ध विशारदः. So what it has to be understood by us is what? Not knowing or not having the knowledge, not having the skills, not having the abilities cannot be the excuse for not doing dharma, not living life dynamically, not doing sadhana. Like you all, some of you North Indians say, स्वामी जी हम नॉर्थ में हम कैसे संस्कृत चैंटिंग करेंगे? अब जितने बार ऐसे रोते रहो, never it will come to you. How can you put that conditioning all the time and say you can't? There's nothing like North South. There are more North Indians experts in Sanskrit. All Sanskrit Vidyalayas are there only more. South is more confused with the Dravida, Kannada, Telugu, Malayali, Tamil. लड़ते रहते हैं लोग, isn't it? But some conditioning we keep with ourselves. So incapacities are not excuses. You become capable. You know that Make in India and all policies, high level they are. So sublime. Such natural resource, human resources are there. How do we beg from the other world? Murak? What do we don't have which other countries have? ऐसा कुछ हमको ही ज़्यादा है. Then you see the work started. How wonderfully we are growing. Every day something new indigenous being created. Every day. You can't have excuse. Somewhere you are lacking, you improve yourself. You send your scientists to NASA, train them there. Send the mechanical engineers to Germany, let them learn there and come. Send them to Japan, let them learn the Japanese technology. Send them to China. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? सब जगह भेजो सिखा के लिया. So here, Dasharatha ji is becoming simple, humble, emotional. मेरा पुत्र ना कुछ नहीं आंधी की करा, तो then they can't go for fighting. You also say, no, my children are so busy here and there, they don't listen to me. Swamiji, how can they come to classes and all? I can't send them. I can't give them a gift also of some spiritual book to study. Dasharath. Okay. Nava astraihi shura kotinam tajnaha samara bhumishu. So Nazar doesn't he know astra? Doesn't he astra shastras? Then how in that yajna the Shuravira, Shatru Koti, or Rakshasas, how can you fight with them? Here the secret is listening to one guru called Vaashishtha. When he has sent his children to the other guru called Vishwamitra. Didn't Vishwamitra train Rama in everything? Future tense ki baat. With which alone Rama throughout life lived like a warrior with all successes. थोड़ा समझ लेना गंभीर है. And Dasharatha himself knows he has learnt archery warfare. Therefore, he is able to be the king for such long time effectively. You also know by coming to classes every day, there is nothing weakening or negative is taught here, only positive is taught. Then we should have courage, I'm just comparing and telling how do we how we are weak and how we strengthen our weakness, how we justify that weakness, and thus do not fulfill our being a parent by training the children in higher things. That's the thought which is in our life. So दशरथ जी से हम ये सीख रहे देख रहे हैं. तो देन केवलम पुष्पखंडेषु नगर उपवनेषु च पुष्पखंड only in those flowery bunches. Nagara Upavaneshu, some Upavana Udyana which are within or around the Nagara. Then Udyanavana Kunjeshu, in small little human made स्मॉल लिटिल फॉरेस्ट टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स या फार्म हाउस है जो कभी जंगल की तरह बना के रखते हैं. सदा एव परिशीलनम. ही वॉज मैक्सिमम गोइंग अप टू दैट ओनली. विहर्तुम एष जानाति. Only doing vihara in these places, he knows. Saha Rajakumarakaihi, along with all other Rajakumaras, not alone. Then Kirna Pushpa Upaharasu. In all the pushpas, which are very blossoming, glowing, Swakasu Ajira Bhumishu, maximum in our own palace around, there are some places there. Only this much he moves. Again, from this we have never heard. We have never known राम को दशरथ जी ने बचपन में इतना पैम्पर करके टैम्पर किया. टैम्पर नहीं वे वो, but he tried. That's why I'm telling, by the age of 15, you must take your children. Okay, first two, at least 10 hospitals of all types and all wards. कैसे करोगे आपकी मर्जी. Then they know the value of the body, the dukkha of the diseases and all of that. Then their mind starts working. So to take them to orphanages. Then they know the value of parents, brothers, sisters. Take them to old age home so that when the vision is not there, life is not worked, which is also like an orphanage, only old age home, it will be how it will be. They will know. Then take them definitely to the army places. Take permission and all. मैं तो कहता हूँ 6 महीने 1 साल लगा ही दो उधर. लेट देम गो लर्न. एनसीसी एनएसएस पक्का होना चाहिए बच्चों. पक्का में 100% पक्का. Like China, Japan, I heard every youngster is sent for army training 1 year. So that in the need of hour, every person is a soldier. See that Ukraine, Chota country, how it is fighting from 650 days with Russia. Because of the youngsters are soldiers. So take them to the army places and all. Take them to slaughterhouse. They will never become non-vegetarian. This is which biggest of the crime, because ahimsa is the first of the yama niyama sadhanas. तो पहले में वो फेल हो जाएगा तो how will you do the other things in future? Definitely take him and show how they are killed for the sake of bhoga by the human beings. मैं तो ये तो ज़्यादा recommend करता हूँ, because nowadays youngsters, anybody, even brahmanas, they are becoming, non-vegetarians, and which is invoking so much of rakshasatva, tamoguna in the subtle ether or atmosphere, which we perceive, we see. The sattva guna is going away. Then take them to the temples. Take them to definitely the Veda Patashalas. Stay there for 10 days, 20 days, 1 month. Take them to the spiritual ashramas. वहाँ तो 6 महीने रहना चाहिए. Where there's a strict discipline is there. Not on the name of spiritual ashrama, there are some places where no dynamic activity is happening. ऐसा नहीं. वहाँ आश्रम जहाँ 4 बजे से दिन शुरू होता है. All spiritual activities of pujas, Veda mantrocharana, Sanskrit learning, satsanga going on, ashrama seva is going on, वृद्ध सेवा is going on, भिक्षाटना. तो ये सारा आप एक बार एक्सपोज करोगे, then they will know life. They'll have an idea of what life constitutes of. Then the other disciplines, teach them fasting, tell them to sleep on the floor, make them walk for some kilometers for something, tell them to go for shopping, let them do the household work. अरे भैया ये सब कराओ, नहीं तो क्या है, तो सड़े बन जाएंगे वो. That's why in this country, the lower middle class alone are the true contributors as they grow, because they have seen the hardships. Maximum. Exceptions are always there. The high rich people, they only remain as bhogi throughout life. Exceptions are there. One or two. Exceptions are always there. You just imagine Dasharatji. Mera putter is only goes to the parks and flower gardens and झरने पे जाके नहा के आते हैं बच्चों के साथ आम तोड़ के खाएंगे इधर उधर घूमते हो. He has never taken. So whose mistake is it? How can you pamper your son so much? He's not only your son. He's going to be Samrat Chakravarti, responsible citizen of the country. ऐसा देखना चाहिए हर पेरेंट्स को. Anyway, in that way, as I told you, so many things can be learned from these discussions. So, see, Balu Ramah tu Anikeshu na janati malambalam atah puradrute dushtva na anena anya radhavanihi na shastrai paramayiryuktaha na cha yuddha visharadaha namastrai शूरकोटि नाम तज्ञ समरभूमिषु केवलं पुष्पखंडेषु नगर उपवनेषु उद्यान कुंजेषु सदा एव परिशीलनम विहर्तुमेष जानाति सह राजकुमारकैः कीर्ण पुष्प उपहारासु स्वकासु अजिर भूमिषु. How can I say it? More so. Now he has got another excuse. You know, आप ऐसे बोलते हैं ना स्वामी जी वो मेरा सुबह 7-8 बजे स्कूल जाते हैं ना फिर 4-5 बजे आता है. Then he's busy in his tuitions and all and 8-9 he comes and load of homework he has to do and all. You know nowadays exams are so frequent and he'll have to prepare for so many competitive exams. Then what do you add to that? No, nowadays his mood also is not good. Health also not good. He is telling same thing now. Nowadays he is not in a good mood also. What he says, Adyatu, Adya means right now to Atitaram, extremely, hey Brahman, hey Guru, Mama Bhagya Viparyam. It is such an unfortunate thing to me that Himenevahi Padmabaha. What is the example here? Mm, How when the snow falls, the whole Padmabaha, the Sarovara, becomes empty of the lotuses. है ना दल लेक में जो बरखा बारिश बर्फ का होता है बर्फ ही हो जाता है. You don't see the kamal khilna there. But again when the garmi comes that snow pickles and then you see the beautifully blossoming lotuses. So when too much of himapatam happens, the snowfall, the beauty of the Saraha called as the lotuses will not be there. My life is like that now. Because in my life, Saras, the khilte hue lotus are my children. Some himapata as if happened. You muraj gaya wo Ram. See the example given by Dasharatha. Ki himena ivehi padmavaha sampannaha harinaha krishaha. My son is like a very dilapidated, thin hiranaha, like the deer only he has become. है ना हरिणः कृशः तो कृश हो गए वो तो मेरे को उनको देख कर इतनी दुख हो रहा है. And then he goes on telling now about Sri Rama's position now. Hmm. Hmm. थोड़ा सीकिंग सिंपैथी एंड एक्सक्यूजिंग. ओके ठीक है तुम आ जाओ राम जी को छोड़ो. goes on telling actually truth only but truth higher truth. Duty higher duty. Decision authentic decision. There are differences na. You know it is left to everyone's maturity. Nobody can force, isn't it? Like if you say no Swami at the time of your own class I sit for my puja. No, like some were there used to come to our class earlier. उनको जब हमारा क्लास होते तभी अपना पाठ पारायण होता है. So then they got that excuse. No, I can't fight with them, you know. They should know that the class living life is always greater than personal sadhanas. I can't tell it, no? Who am I to say? If they ask, I tell. If they tell, I listen only. Swami tell me, your own time, class time, I have pujas also. मैं क्या करूँ? पूछे तो मैं बताता हूँ माँ class any time, sorry. Their puja you can do आगे पीछे. Listen the class live because that time entire Guru Parampara is present too. Offline में गुरु परंपरा नहीं रहता. Only my recording will be there. I can tell her convincingly. He doesn't ask me, they decide. Then every time I have a class, they plan something. Now, who can help such person? You are doing correct only, but there is some higher correct also. Like you all say, Swami, my children are not bigde. They're all well off. They're doing job. They're doing a business. They're earning money. They're taking a family. Because of them only, I'm relieved that I'm coming to your class. Nothing is wrong. But there is higher right also. Even then, and from this age only, when they start listening, slowly, slowly, the knowledge sinks inside. At the right time, it just blossoms. क्लियर नाउ राम जी दशरथ जी बोल रहे हैं कि न अत्तुम अन्नानि शक्नोति ही इज नॉट ईटिंग द फूड खाना खाने को शक्ति नहीं है उसको खाना खाने से शक्ति होता है बट हैज नो शक्ति टू ईट फूड ही इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड शक्नोति मीन्स नॉट ईटिंग फूड ओनली न विहर्तुम गृहावनिम even inside the graha also is not doing any vihara of going anywhere he used to do lot of things naturally na the 15-14 years के time ये children when they become adolescent ऐसे ही होते हैं बिफोर दैट 10-12 years तक तो इतना घूमते लड़ाई करते चिल्लाते एनीबडी दे गो एंड टॉक एंड ऑल बट दैट क्रूशियल पीरियड they try to become withdrawn reserved then antah kheda paritatma his inside inner personality so much is with a peculiar dukkha he is not even able to share with us we are not able to understand or find an answer to that antah kheda paritatma inside his atma is full of kheda. Then tushnim tishtati kevalam. Always seated in a tushni bhava. No response to anything. Hmm. So, myself sahadara sabrutya. Sadaraha with Kaushalya, Sahavrutya with all my servants and all am tat krute. Because of this condition of Rama, he Muninayaka, Sharadiva Payovaha, Nunam Nistaratang Gataha, like the clouds of the Sharadrutu, which comes after Varsharatu. In the Varsharatu, clouds are so dense and thick and pregnant, they give such a barkha barish. But after that Sharad Rutu, cloud looks like white color, not even a drop water comes. That's what in Gita also, 6th chapter, Chinna Abhram Iva Nashyati. So our life is like what? Sharad Iva Payovaha Nissaratangataha. Looks like it's a cloud, but there is no sara or water in it. So too we are all living life, but there's no sara in us. There's no life in the life. There's no joy in us. Now from this also I have to learn one thing. I have to learn that what each one have their own reasons. Like who knows, you may have your own physical health problem. You may have a clash with your own children or grandchildren, somebody, some problem in the business ho sakta hoga, health issue may be there. So everything is not smooth in everybody's life all the time. Continuously come ups and downs come. You know, there is a quotation in Telugu. One crab was called and told, do you know the problems of Sita ji, the Ravana abducted and all? She suffered like anything and all. Ultimately, Rama went. This crab told, you know my problem. I also my own problem. Sita Kashtal, Sitani, Pita Kashtal. There's a Telugu में quotation. In this world, everybody have their own problem. So people like us should grasp it. But not that we don't know all of that. But thing is, we have solution also. We have what? Solution is in spirituality only. यू कांट से मैं बीमार हूँ इसलिए हॉस्पिटल नहीं जाता हूँ अरे हॉस्पिटल है ही बीमारी दूर करने यू नो आई एम अनएजुकेटेड आई कैन गो टू स्कूल कॉलेज अरे स्कूल कॉलेज meant for getting education only and I'm so poor that I cannot do the job is done to become rich only you know I don't have friends anybody so I can't go to meet anyone अरे मिलो तो दोस्त बनेंगे so too when you go to the Mahatma's Shastra Satsanga wherever we are incomplete especially in the knowledge, in the inspiration, in guidance, we get sufficient. And that's permanent. Vishwamitra never said, hey Ram, Lakshman, I'll give you all the powers. मेरा काम हो जाएगा 10 दिन में सारा पावर मुझे वापस दे देना ऐसा किया क्या उन्होंने So to when you send your children to Mahatmas, they give such a knowledge which is helpful throughout life. And one thing we have heard 7, 8 times recently, 2 months back, or even 7 days back, morning class. The difficulties, problems, prarabdhas have their own track. We should have our own track made of Purushartha. Unless the prarabdha is so terrible that you can't do your Purushartha, we should not compromise. This happens to me every day in every class. But the night before the class only, something goes so drastically bad even today. I just want to cancel on the class. मैंने सोचा मेरे कुछ प्यारे लोग होते बैठते हैं. When I look at them, I get inspired. For my inspiration, I came and sat. Though within some time, the God made things okay. Okay means able to do the thing. We can't compromise our Purushartha because of the Prarabdha. Especially the spiritual Purushartha. Of either learnings through satsangas or doing upasanas, japa, puja. देखो ये सारे प्रारब्ध इसको हराते ही आ रहे थे ना अब तक. अब भी हराने के लिए आ रहे हैं. अब हारते जाओगे क्या? थिंक कूलली. So then Sharadiva Payobaho Nunam Nissarathangatah. The whole entire family is Nissara. मतलब हम खुद ही ऐसे दुख प्रॉब्लम में है, हम क्या करें? Then Idrushosam Suto Balaha. This is how is the Bala, the Sutta and Bala also. My son, such a small child, he is like that now. Adhina means he is not Adhina, sorry, Adhina Atha Vashikrutaha. So Idrushoha Asau Sutaha Balaha Adhina Atha Vashikrutaha. He was taken into the Vasha by Adi. Say, remember, Vyadhi is physical disease. Adhi is mental problems. Suffocation, suffering at the mind level. For any type of reason, any type of expression, that's called Adi. In many places you say, Adi Vyadhi Samasta Shantakari. Shambho Stribhava Kari. Or another place, that is Adi Shanta Samastarana Kari. So Adi Vyadhi word they go together. Physical disease problem is Vyadhi. When the same at the mind level mein hai, it's called Adi. The depressions, the frustrations, the dejections, the despondencies, the disappointments, the lack of inspirations, fears, the inferiority complexes, guilts, because of which we become impotent, incapable, can't do the things. That's called Adi. My son is in this situation now. So Adhina atha Vashikrutaha. So what disturbed in the mind? समटाइम्स पिల్లలు बच्चे लोग एग्जाम में भी फेल हो गए, नौकरी भी नहीं मिली, शादी भी नहीं हो रहा है, फ्रेंड्स आल्सो हैव चीटेड, दे बिकम सच ए आदि के साथ पीड़ित. दे हैव टू बी टेकन इनटू कॉन्फिडेंस. द यूथ बिटवीन 16 to 20 to 25, 15 to आजकल 14 से, their inner problems are very peculiar. If somebody can take them into confidence and pump in them the information, the inspiration, the wisdom, confidence, positive, isn't it? They will be such a wonderful people for the whole country and whole life. Some institutions should be there taking this initiative of purely inspiring our young generation. Because उस उम्र में जो seeds अंदर लग जाते हैं, the seeds of no confidence, seeds of inferiorities, seeds of I'm a failure, they will never leave them throughout life. And we do that to our children at home. You are good for nothing, you are stupid fellow. ऐसा उसको कह के बना ही देते वैसे उसको. We are such arrogantly selfish fellows, knowing nothing of life and managing it. We have never studied Shastra. अपने बच्चों को पेरेंट्स ही पहले बिगाड़ते. Exceptions are there. So my son is having his own Adi mental problem. So Idrusho Soto Bala Adina Atha Abashikrata Katam Tadhamitam Tubhyam. How can I send him to you? Yodhum sa nishacharai, that also to fight with the Rakshasas. Now here, in case of Rama, the Yuddha is with the outer Rakshasas. But in all other cases, the Rishi Muni, when we send our children to them, they teach the children all the Yuddha Vidya to defeat the inner Rakshasas. Luckily, Rama has no inner Rakshasa, bach gaye, so they were outer. Inner Rakshasa of laziness, Tamoguni, Durgunas, Rajoguni, Durguna. गुरु लोग है क्यों इसीलिए. Even I feel some young gurus or mahatmas who are coming up now should make a team all over the country, chain. Let us empower our children of 14 to 20 with coordination with parents and the education institutions, and empower them so powerfully that they are capable of doing and achieving every noble thing. है ना. हम तो बूढ़े हो गए ना. I can't talk to the youth as fluently, as hilariously, humorously, as lively as I used to do earlier. Hundreds of classes you have done. Now to I am worried about my own Shastra Jnanam, Tattva Chintanam. So we are in this track. But the young generation of sadhus, if they can take this initiative, empower 14 to 18. Education system badalna hai. The government should bring that compulsory thing of the youngsters to be empowered by these things. And there are some schools who welcome such good speakers, inspiring ones, and those students also really get inspired. I'm not going out of topic, please. We are seeing the problem remains all the time when we maintain it, whether it is Treta Yuga or Kali Yuga. In any time, every problem has solution. You have to find apply. Then he says, Katham dadami tam tubhyam yodhum sa nishachare. How can you send him with you to fight with the Rakshasas? Then, api balangana sangad api sadho sudharasat. Now he is telling about his own self. Ki api bala angana sangad. More than being with the women folk. Sudharasat. More than having the nectarine consumables. Rajyadapi. Even more than the kingdom. Sukhaya eva. What gives sukha to an ordinary human being is putra sneha. He Mahamati. ये महामती विश्वामित्र जी आपको पता है पुत्र प्रेमा is gives more sukha than the sukha of some eating, enjoying women folk or even kingdom. So what he means is my Rama and my attachment to Rama and Brahma is more joy giving me than I being a Raja also, I being the enjoyer of other things, even the most obedient Kausalya Sumitra, maybe Kaikeyi. मेरे को राम. So putra lalasa, putra prem, powerful hota hai. Don't you know that? Vishwamitra ji also led our children and all that. So he is saying. Now what we have to do? Anytime these mental blockades or attachments can be had by anyone who is otherwise maybe so great. And this is what causes problem. And that is what we need to find solution. Then, ye durantaha maharambhaha. Okay. Then, trishu lokeshu khedadaha. Putra snehena santahapi kurvate tana samshayam. One thing he said, ki the joy with attachment to children is more than the jaya of Rajya, the Indriya Sukha ityadi. Other thing very intelligently, interestingly, Dasharatha says, ki durantaha maha arambaha. Trishu lokeshu khedadaha. The tougher than toughest tasks of any of the worlds in the world are undertaken by the people to make their children happy. Putra snehena santahapi kurvate tana samshayam. Such a very secrets Dasharatha is revealing here. That's what you have done. For the sake of your children, you gave up the Swamis, the Gurus, the Satsanga, the spirituality. महात्यागी है आप तो. हम तो आए कहने को थोड़ा कम करो अपना त्याग. Don't you work for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12, 14, 16 to earn money, to make bank balances, to construct houses? Every sensible couple in the family, anybody asks them, इतना क्यों कमा रहे हो? मेरे बच्चों के वास्ते. Instantaneously, effortlessly, without any gap, what comes out of mouth is children के लिए. 24 घंटे उनके मन में बच्चे बच्चे होता है. For the sake of children, bigger than the biggest task, anything of the three worlds, the parents do those who love them. लिखा है इधर. ये दुरंता मीन्स unaccomplishable, seemingly. Maha Arambaha, great undertakings, initiatives. Trishu Lokeshu, which are in three words, Khedadaha, while doing which so much of task is there, toughness is there, so much of miseries one goes through. Putra Snehena, when one has got the prema for the Putra, Santaha means Kurvate Tan Asamshayam. So they do it. Now thoda India has become little capable of purchasing things and all. But you just imagine 40, 50 years back, to get that daughter married. कहाँ कहाँ भीख मांग के पैसा इकट्ठा करते हैं. And if the son-in-law नालायक है, डराता रहता है, then go on, they do some other work and give that money to that. पुत्र स्नेह for the sake of son. किधर किधर भीख नहीं मांगे, वो इधर नौकरी दो, उधर ये दो. Trusneha. Any bigger than big work, sacrifice, hard task, people do it. So idea is I am ready to go and fight with them. Spare Rama. मैं तैयार हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ ना, ले जाओ मुझे. Then असवः अथ धनम दाराः त्यज्यन्ते मानवैः सुखम न पुत्रो मुनिशार्दूल स्वभावो हि एष जन्तुषु. In all the jantu, this is a natural thing, not only human beings, even in all animal also. What is it? Asavaha means life. Dhanam means wealth. Dara means even wife or husband. Then sukham, even these also, tyajante manavaihi, are given up by the human beings. Na putraha, not the children. They love children so much that they are ready to sacrifice the wife or husband or sukha or dhana or even prana. Jartula, Tiger Muni, Swabhavo hi Esha Jantushu. This is what all beings, because they see themselves in the children. So these are all Grahastha Ashrama dharmas, they're all right, but at that level. But when some higher call comes, then you have to think, reassess. Whatever Dasharatha said is not wrong, but not completely highly right. There is some higher right also is there. Will we have the Vivekanandas, the Bhagat Singhs, the great Chinmayanandas and all? If the parents think like that and don't leave them for the world, for the service, great scientists, great army officers, नहीं मिलते हमको. Everybody cannot do. When somebody gets a chance, one must know the importance of it. Then he says about the Rakshasas, then so terrible. Oh, then he says, एक क्षण में मैं बिना राम का नहीं रह सकता हूँ. Then he says, I am 9,000 years old now. After 9,000 years, I got these 4 children, so cute. All I love, but more than all, Rama I love. I can't leave him. I will come with you to finish all the Rakshas. Then who are they? Then he himself says, by mistake, are they belonging to Ravana or what? If it is Ravana, to forget about it. I can't even fight. These are the things that are there in this chapter. Tomorrow we'll see. Om. That's what I am saying. Before we become qualified for pure Vedanta, the discussion between Rama and Vasishtha, at our attachment level, our own inner mind's imagery level, when we become clear, then we become qualified. Like in Gita, chapter on Vishada Yoga. In Bhagavatam, first and second to Sargas. Everywhere in the initial places, the qualifications, the tests, the preparations are given. Once that's done, then one is given the higher wisdom. Every Shastra has its own story or way of making us qualified. In this, through the Dasharatha Rama Samvada and all. And you and I, if you have that broad vision, एक बहुत बढ़िया सा हजारों आंख वालों की तरह, you should see the whole position of Ayodhya that time. Dasharatha ji, his age, his mind, his joy that he has got his 4 children, all of that. Kausalya Sumita's happiness, how celebrating the whole situation. Then suddenly Rama says, Tirth Yatra jana hai. Reluctantly, but Dasharatha ji sends after discussing with वशिष्ठा, चलो यात्रा कोई तो जा रहे हैं, मैं अकेला नहीं भेजूंगा, अरे who told me अकेला, send whole सैन्यम, the entire पंडित जी will go and all. So Raja was confident, गया बच्चा सब देख के आ गया, everybody welcomed, 8 days great festivity was there. Rama was enjoying, narrating the stories. ये सब बाहर हो रहा है और उनके अंदर अंदर ही गड़बड़ हो रहा था राम जी का. देखते देखते he has become Mitra. Not responding, not talking, not eating, not playing, not coming. Now you'll see tomorrow. सभा में बुलाए where विश्वामित्र जी is there, वशिष्ठ is there, वामदेव है ही नहीं रहा. Now imagine राजा दशरथ जी के मन में क्या है. Suddenly विश्वामित्र का अब भेजो. You should see all standpoints and all. Like I told you the other day, even when you see the movie, you should be able to enjoy it all aspects. Not a ghonchu की तरह look at. I have seen Pujya Gurudev eating food. Every morsel and every item he will enjoy. By consciously present at every moment, giving that joy even to those who are serving or prepared. Not that putting a बैंगन का भरता वाला face, seeing बैंगन ऐसे एक पर चेक क्यों बनाया तुम लोगों ने? What are you doing it? Gurudev is something different. Is Maha Prajnashali. That's what we are going to study tomorrow in Yoga Darshanam. Trayamekatra samyamaha tajjayat prajnaloka. He has got prajnaloka. If you also have prajnaloka, so whole thing you can observe. Higher prajna is there, तो उसको हम अपने जीवन से relate करना. फिर what is going to happen in the text? Learning from it, how we have to help ourselves. All these maturities come only in 2 conditions. Condition 1, when we are totally surrendered to our Guru Parampara, Bhagavan. Condition 2, expressing that surrender in the form of 1, regularly studying Shastras, 2, regularly doing our upasanas. Bas. Upasanas to Devatas, Adhyanam of the Shastras in our Satsanga. With these 2, invocation of Guru Kripa, Daiva Kripa, when we do, all the opening up happens slowly, steadily. Prajna Loka will come. This is called Sattva Guna. In Rajome, all tension, worry, doing nothing. Tamo Guna, creating tension to others. Anyway, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Om Shanti. Om Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan. Vaashishtha Bhagavan ki jai, Vishwamitra Bhagavan, Valmiki Bhagavan, Vyasa Bhagavan, Vamadev. Om Sri Veda Mata ki jai, Vishnu Bhagavan ki jai, Sadguru Nath Maharaj ki, सब संत ने. जानकी जीवन स्मरण जय जय राम राम. बोल सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्र की जय. समस्त श्रुति स्मृति शास्त्र की जय. समस्त ऋषि देवता गण की जय. बोलो जानकी जीवन स्मरण जय जय राम राम. समस्त श्रोता भक्त साधक सेवक उपासक जिज्ञासु धर्म संस्थापक की जय. भारत माता की जय. सनातन धर्म की जय. वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृति की जय. आध्यात्मिक जीवन विधान की जय. Thank you for your patience, respected sadhakas. Don't miss these classes. Chalo. Join in 3 minutes.